Hi everybody, I'm Susan Bergman, and today we're going to be making Alan Sokolov's honey cake. Honey cake is a sweet cake that is traditionally served for the Jewish New Year, Rosh Hashanah. It's also delicious, and I think you'll enjoy it. It features whiskey, which is part of our theme, and we're going to use it for dessert for our dinner. The first step is to put together the dry ingredients, which we've measured out previously. So we have 3.5 cups of unbleached flour, 3 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 4 teaspoons of ground cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of ground cloves, 1/2 teaspoon ground allspice, 1/2 teaspoon ground ginger, okay, and then we whisk everything together, or stir everything together, as the case may be, until everything is well combined. Then we're going to make a well in the middle so we can pour in the wet ingredients. Okay, now we're going to mix the wet ingredients, and in this bowl I have 3 eggs, and we're going to mix in 1 cup of vegetable oil, and I'm using extra virgin olive oil. Half cup of orange juice, 1 cup of honey, 'Make sure we get it all out. What's a honey cake without honey? Teaspoon of vanilla, half a cup of dark brown sugar, packed, 1 cup of warm, strong tea. And my favorite tea is Celestial Seasonings Bengal Spice, and it works beautifully in this cake. Last but not least, 1/3 of a cup of good Scotch whiskey. And we're going to stir these together. You can use a whisk, spoon, or an electric mixer at low speed until they're combined. Okay, then we're going to bring back our dry ingredients, and we are going to pour the wet ingredients into the well that we created in the dry. Then we are going to combine these and try to get all the lumps out, make sure we have a nice smooth liquid batter. And again, we can use a wooden spoon, we can use a hand mixer or a stand mixer at low speed. And we'll want to scrape down the bowl rather, to make sure that nothing really sticks and the ingredients all get combined properly. Okay, this is starting to look pretty well combined. There's still a few lumps, so I've got a little bit of work. Might be easier with a mixer, but better exercise with a wooden spoon. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to take our raisins that we have mixed with 2 tablespoons of flour in a bag, and this is so they won't stick to the bottom of the cake. And we're going to add them in and stir them together. Now we're going to take our pan, which has been greased and prepared, and we're going to pour the batter in. trying to keep it even if we can. That looks about right. Now we're going to put it into the oven, which has been preheated to 350 degrees. Okay. Now, depending on the kind of pan that you are using, that's going to determine the baking time. If you're using a loaf pan, you're going to bake it between 45 and 55 minutes. For a bundt pan like we're using, it's 50 to 75 minutes. It's a liquid batter. And depending on your oven, it might need some extra time to bake. So it's just have to keep watch on it. Okay, now we're ready to take the cake out of the oven. And we're going to let it cool. Okay, the last step for the honey cake is to poke some holes in it with a toothpick. And then drizzle it with between a quarter cup and half a cup of warmed maple syrup. And when it's warmed, it'll seep more evenly and deeply into the cake. And there you are.